Good morning, sir. My name is Thiban. I'm from Bachelor in International Business. Today, our topic is about our Honda company. So, before we touch about come for the issues and the role of the role of it or issues, the recommendation and suggestion for it, let me talk about the basic. What is a foreigner professional? So, comes from foreigner professional is a migrant workers with a professional or also called as a expert triad. So the worker in his or her of the profession, the workers takes a position outside of from home country, either independently or as a work assignment scheduled by the employees, which can be an company or university, a government or even non-government organization. Like a private, like a non-government, it's like a Honda company because Honda company is a private, and expert usually earns more than they would at home and more than local employees, and in addition to salary, the business sometimes give their expert right of the employees benefits such as relocation assistance and housing allowance. And living as a expertise can be exciting that present an excellent opportunity for concert career advancer of the global business exposure, and but it can also be an emotionally difficult transition that involves separation from friends and family while adjusting to an unfamiliar culture and work environment. And also I want to talk about this about the main part is like example even Honda company, even Honda company is a Japan company, but we still have to follow a culture in Malaysia, and many professional foreigners have having an issue with the family with the culture of in Malaysia, and they can't able to cooperate or can't able to have the same feelings for the same feelings like for like a secretary with the local employees, and that is why we are now researching about the what's the main issue that causes of the professional foreigners, and what is the effective or how the way we solve the problem to solve it and give a suggestion and recommendation, so it will give a benefit for the good future, and not only in the Malaysia, even all over the world. And today, now that my friends will talk about the main of the issues, the role and suggestion and recommendation and all the important things. So thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Tinesh. Okay, today I will continue as my part, which is what are the issues that foreign face in Malaysia, which is in the Honda company. Okay, first I would like to tell the problem. The first problem is language barrier. Okay, basically that we can say language barrier is communication between each other. So the communication whenever foreign and local people is communicating regarding the works or something regarding works, so in that situation it's make a misunderstanding. So it is the first things as a problem that foreign facing. The second things is homesick. Okay, homesick is basically what we can say, it's like emotion part, which is they miss their family or friends in their country. So it's one of the stress and emotion and unable to focus in their work. So it's also as foreign facings as a problem. Okay, the third things is culture difference. Okay, basically culture difference we can say in time. Okay, in abroad country, which is foreign country, they are working as a 9 to 12, and then their lunch hour is around 3 hours, and then after 3 hours they continue as a 2 hour as a work. So it's not the same as our local time in Malaysia, which is 8 hour and 1 hour lunch. So the timing is different whenever they work in the Malaysia. So it's one of difficult things that foreign facing also. Apart from that, we can say the food they eat is one of the things also. In Malaysia, they are not familiar with the Malaysia foods, and and the festival that they celebrate, they are unable to celebrate their festival, so they just miss their homes. So it's also one of the problem also. Okay, the last things is inflation rates, which is currency about our country lah. So it's regarding to their pay work, which is their money salaries. So sometimes in economic growth or something like that, the within Nepal rupees or Indian rupees or in Malaysia rupee, compared to the rates between Malaysian and another country. So if a Malaysian rate is a decrease, so it's one of the negative that they cannot afford to work more than that. Then I cannot afford to make more money. So that's all from me, which is I have a 4 point on this and 4 issue on this. Okay, thank you.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Hagi Heriwan. I'm going to talk about the roles of Malaysia government play to solve issues and challenge by foreign professional or expatriate in Malaysia. So the first one is language barrier. So most of Malaysia professional workers can speak English very well. The non-professional might have difficulties in understand English, but most of Malaysian have a basic knowledge of English. So it's mean they can understand it a little bit if the expatriate speak a basic English. And also, I think employer should play the roles to provide a decent pre-departure training to their respective expatriates. So the second one is homesick, and I will cite from Abdul Kadir Othman on his research on 2019. He and his fellow researcher has found that family support has the most significant effects on the job performance of expatriates. In the study that they conducted, around 139 respondents who are expatriates in Malaysia brought along their spouse and family and have education for their children in Malaysia. There are also programs promoted by the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture of Malaysia to give chance to foreign professional workers or expatriate to settle in Malaysia. For example, Malaysia My Second Homes programs. So the third one is a cultural differences. By the way, Honda is an engineering and manufacturing multinational companies, and it has the second highest recorded expatriate job sector according to the study of Nur Azri Muhammad and his fellow researcher. So Malaysia government has promoted Malaysia culture through the Ministry of Tourism, Art and Culture. However, according to past study, personal traits of expatriates such as a positive mindset, a desire to work overseas and comfortable to work outside will highly influence the cultural adjustment for expatriate and their abilities to adjust to the new working place. As we know, currency exchange rate is a global problem. Malaysia government has no power over the global economy. However, what Malaysia government can do is to provide an alternative initiative to help expatriates by reducing their taxes. Malaysia is a tax-friendly country, especially where expats are concerned. Malaysia has signed double taxation agreements with more than 70 countries to avoid taxing expatriate twice. So expatriates may benefit from the tax exemption if they are not defined as a tax resident in Malaysia, or if the period of the employment is shorter than the 60 days. But that is for the short-term assignment. On the long-term assignment, who has applied visa under Malaysia My Second Homes, experts are not required to pay tax on their income. So no matter where it is come from, as long as it is not, as long as it is remitted from overseas, this include interest on income sitting in account in Malaysia. It means expatriates on a long-term assignment who apply under Malaysia My Second Home programs or visa are not required to pay tax on their income if it is come from the overseas. So that how Malaysia play their roles to solve expatriate issue.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera to Sir Faisal. So my name is Mustafa. I will continue about the content, the issues and challenges faced by foreign professional or expatriates based on the chosen multinational companies. So expatriation is the key personal strategies used by Honda organization in their overseas operation. Hence, there are several challenges faced by expatriates. So the first challenge is the culture shock and language barrier, where culture shock is one of the significant challenges that expatriates may be confronted by in their new environment, where more profoundly by people whose community differs greatly from the one they migrate to. So therefore, they may experience anxiety, depression, isolation, confusion, and frustration when they work in a new setting. Moreover, expatriates may face new customs or tradition which might be confusing or something surprising. So about the language barriers is also a significant issue that every multinational company should take into account, particularly when it expands into other countries that do not have the same language as the company home language. Therefore, expatriates need to know more than one language, specifically English and the language of the host country, to work in the international business. So the second challenge is the different situation, cultures, and cross-cultural psychology. So working in a different situation and different cultures may have a great influence on the attitude and behavior of the expatriates. Therefore, the attitude of expatriates may deteriorate when they encounter situations that they find perplexing or unaware of in diverse cultures, and may be more positive when they feel settled and comfortable in their home and work situations. Hence, if expatriates are in harmony with their new or the host environment and situation, they can easily overcome their difficulties while working and living there. So cross-cultural psychology is basically focused on understanding individual difference, challenge and complexities in the workplace, which has an immediate impact on expatriates during the process of international business, especially when expatriates do not have the ability to overcome their problems. So the third challenge is the communication and teamwork. So business communication is an inevitable activity between the expatriates and their workforce, either in the home country or the host country. So moreover, they may have communication and network problems, particularly when they may not have a good quality network to communicate with the employees in the original country. And working with dishonest people is another challenge that expatriates may face. So the last challenge is the ethics, where ethical values are one of the most important aspects as regards the workplace, and it is essential that the employees are aware of the company's ethical values and adhere to them at all times. So even if they apply those ethical principles, some individuals may violate them. In particular, some people from certain cultural backgrounds may conceal their real identity and might be pretend to be someone else or a professional in a certain profession. So, thank you.
Hello. The recommendations that I can recommend in terms of how to solve or overcome the foreign workers in Malaysia, especially in Honda company, is by provide more cultural training program to educate the foreign workers professionals on how do we practice our cultural differences as a whole nation in Malaysia, with so many different religions and so many different races. How can we do more trainings and also provide them a lot of information? How do we work together as a whole country, as a Malaysians? Secondly is probably during the break time or during probably before the meeting, maybe have one session where the foreign and the local can bond together to have some intellectual conversation, intellectual talks, and also do some fun activities so that they can understand more about our culture, Malaysian culture. Third thing is, for the first to 3 months, conduct training in terms of them, so that they can develop their Bahasa Melayu speaking language proficiency, so that they can able to learn our basic national language, so that they can use on their workplace. Okay, the fourth one is, the HR department have to provide a career development to all the foreign professionals, so that they are able to have a goal, have a security that they can able to work here for a long time, and this will help them to have a vision towards their tenure in the company. Fifth one is, between the locals and also the foreigners, foreign professionals. From the management side, they should have equal priority, so that maybe whatever their suggestion, whatever their feedbacks, we give them equal priority, so that it works both hands, local and foreigners. We just treat them as a staff of the company, so we get input from them as well. Just don't neglect them. The lastly is, ensure locals are educated enough for them to educate the foreigners, to avoid any miscommunication or misinterpretation. If locals itself don't know much about the culture and all, this will able to confuse them and unable for them to understand more about our culture. Thank you.
Okay, before we end for the part let me share about our conclusion. So, in our conclusion, the reason why we doing this research first, so because to give a good benefit, a good information, and for the good point for the upcoming future. And this is what we have to make research to find of the main issues of having a problem by your foreigners that work in Honda company. And we have also find what is the way and what is the role, or how to give a main method to solve a problem. And we have a benefit, like we have ideas, or like maybe we recommend doing a more training for foreigners, so they can learn to be familiar with our culture, like language, body language, and what they should do and what shouldn't do. And this is the main thing we want to increase, we want to show, we want to share, to give our main suggestion to make a more training for the employees, for the foreigners. And even we can make some activities, so everybody for different country can join to learn the culture in Malaysia. Even if it's a Japanese company, so Honda is a Japanese company, but we still have to follow in Malaysian culture. So this is the professional foreigners facing a main challenges to be familiar with the culture, to understand our culture, and to make their lifestyle more easier and more understanding and more peacefully and more giving for the upcoming future, for the coming new generation. And that's all, sir. This is our conclusion. And I also want to share some important information that for this information for upcoming young generation, so they can know if in future they are working to a company or to different country, and not only in Malaysia, and even different country, so they can know what we should do before working to a different country, to different country with the different people. And this is the main thing we making our video, to show our research and to share our recommendation and suggestion, so everyone will be follow it and to give a good example for the upcoming future. So that's all, sir, and thank you, and we really thanks a lot, sir, for having spent time to watch our videos, and thank you so much, sir.